Right. Right. Okay. We've got a bush. That's all part of the plan, folks, for this special edition of Bush Camping 101 for Fortnite. We're going to dive in deep to the art of bush camping because, well, for players like me and some of you who perhaps aren't the best at the game, bush camping is a viable option to get wins. Doesn't mean you have to play super passive, but actually it does mean you have to play super passive. But yeah, it's still a good way to get to the end of a game and be in with a chance of a win, which is what we all want, don't we? To get the odd win. And you still have to fight somebody at the end most of the time anyway. Doesn't always win. You know, sometimes you just get to the end and people are better than you, which actually for me is most of the time. But there we go. Anyway, first things first, get your bush. Okay, you can't really be a good bush camper without a bush, and hopefully you'll have one that you can carry around with you like this, because it's quite hard just to bush camp using the bushes out there, because sometimes you're in areas end game where there aren't any bushes, particularly if you go up to the snowy areas. There aren't many bushes there, so perhaps it isn't very viable in those sort of areas. But most of the map, especially the OG map, yeah, it's all covered with grass and trees, so it's quite useful. Whilst we're on the subject of bush camping, this has just brought me to mind that foraging is also quite a good skill to have if you're a bush camper, because you can't be going in houses and looting loads of places in a bush, because that would just give you away. But if you're wandering around the woods and there are mushrooms or apples, then hey presto, you've got your heals and your shields. So what I like to do is, if I can, carry as many mushrooms as possible, because they're quick heals as well. They're really, really good. And you can carry, I think, 15. I'm going to test that out, see how many I can pack in, but I think it's 15. So we'll keep on picking up the mushrooms. Oops. Yeah, don't get preoccupied with picking mushrooms and get caught in the storm like me, because sort of defeats the object, doesn't it? We've still got a few to go. I think we go to Dusty, because if we go to Dusty Divot, I think there are quite a few mushrooms there. And also, you can sort of creep about inside there, because it's quite open and there are grassy bits in the middle of the compound, so you can sort of get away with it sometimes. You can always bush camp in a bush. I nearly did, didn't I? Double bush. You can double bush. I've got my special Fortnite glasses on. You see them? They've got blue sky and clouds. They're really cool. Right. Okay. Another place I quite like visiting. I like Dusty Divot. There's good loot here. It's relatively uncontested. Quite often bots here, which is a good thing for bush campers and players like me who aren't that good, because you can get a few kills, you know, easy kills. That's quite useful. We're going on a mushroom hunt, a mushroom hunt, a mushroom hunt. We're all going on a mushroom hunt. Right, how many have got? 12, right. Here's another one. Creeping about is also a good tip, because if you're a bush, you don't want to make noise. And if you really want to make sure you're not making any noise, then you can always ADS and creep about, and that makes your footsteps even less noticeable. So that's a really good tip. I've got 14. I can take another one, I think. I don't think I can take any more, but I'll just test it. No, can't take any more. Right. So 15 is the most you can take, but that'll get you up to full virtually. So it's really good. It's a really good tip if you can't find ordinary heals. Right. Now another tip is good places to camp. Obviously somewhere where there's lots of greenery, so you don't stick out, like not in the snowy heights, not on a car park, but in places like this. But also it's quite good to get up high so that you can look down over the field, if you like. And if you go up high and you're just below the top of the hill, so you're just behind the top of the hill, you can actually see them below, and they can see virtually none of you. So that's quite handy, just in case they decide to randomly destroy the bushes, just in case there's somebody hiding in them, which is, to be fair, quite a good tactic, because there's so many bush campers this season. So this is a way to do bush camping and probably not create too much suspicion. The other thing is, of course, is when you get into zone, and I was like playing edge of zone, because you then know people aren't likely to be coming behind you, so you can focus on what's in front. And also people tend to be moving away from edge of zone, so you're pretty much going to be, until the very end of the game, on your own, so there's less likely to be people around you. But when you get in zone and you're edge of zone, I suggest you just find a good spot and sit there until the next zone is coming in, and then you know which way you've got to go. By then most people will be moving out of your area anyway, or will have already gone, so it's another quite a good tip. Fighting over here to the left. I tend to go round to the right if I see fighting to the left. And just sit about for a bit. So I'm nearly to that stage where I'll be looking for a place to actually set up camp. See somebody down there, so going to have to creep. Okay, so there's a little ridge here. We can just sit just below the ridge, and I can see anybody that's down there, but they can't see me. But I'm still disguised if there's anybody sort of wandering around. And nobody would suspect, that I'm not a normal bush, you know. I'm very, very good at bush camping. I'm a granny bush camper. Right, off we go again into the next zone. We haven't got too far to go. Now this is a little bit awkward because we've got to cut across footpaths, and obviously bushes don't often grow in bush footpaths, so you have to sort of move this way as quickly as you can. But I think the people that were here moved out, obviously, because they're trying to get into zone, which is quite sensible. Again, I think I'm going to try and get up a little bit so that I can be looking down on the rest of the field. See, there's plenty of mushrooms here. I've got enough, but there's plenty of mushrooms here. Right, I'm good here. Just have to move up and round, I think. Yeah, still got to move a little bit of a way. I'll go up this way and round. Again, keeping to edge of storm. There's only 5 people left now, so we've done a good job camping, haven't we? Not killed anybody, not met anybody. And I'm top 5. Oh, top 4 now. It's a shame this isn't end zone, that would be perfect. Just go to the edge there and camp. It's up high, and I can look down on the rest of the field. Actually, it's always a good. Another thing is just camp next to other vegetation, either trees or other plants, because it's almost like people see a tree next to a plant and it sort of looks normal. Oops, somebody's coming up here. Sit very still so they don't think I'm anything other than a bush. How well this... Oh, she's trying to get in. She's trying to get in the bush. I think I'm going to have to kill her. She thinks I'm a bush. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, not bushless. Oh, crikey, she had a crown. I might just take that. Oh, dear. And here's where the mushrooms come in really handy. Sadly, I've lost my bush now, so I'm no longer a bush camper. I'm just a player. I'm probably going to get massacred now. Oh, is that just two people left? That's me and somebody else who's probably a lot better player than me. But I've given myself a chance, haven't I? And I killed somebody with a crown, so that's not bad. Let's just see where they are. Shame there aren't any bushes up here I can camp in. I've got a crown now though, so they probably know where I am, but c'est la vie. I can't believe she thought I was a bush. I told you I was good at this. I convinced her I was a bush. Right, they're flying down. They've rifted. I'll try and shoot that scar. I'm not great at this.